The Black Lives Matter protests have now spread across the world, with people coming out in solidarity in their countries. Black Lives Matter protests reached Paris, where people demonstrated against the killing of a black Frenchman in 2016 police operation. Earlier, Paris police had banned the gathering in memory of Traoré, the black Frenchman whose death some have linked to that of George Floyd. But the peaceful protest slowly turned violent as people clashed with demonstrators. Now, the police officials were seen firing tear gas to disperse protesters in Paris.
Black lives! Black lives!
In Tel Aviv, around 300 people protested in front of the U.S. Embassy branch office over George Floyd's death. Protesters, some wearing surgical masks, held signs saying, "I can't breathe," and chanted Black Lives Matter.
Thank you. What brought me here today is, first of all, let me...
In Buenos Aires, members of various Argentine civil society groups marched in solidarity with U.S. protesters. In Brazil, people took to the streets in Manaus to protest against Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro, accusing him of racism. Many were even seen recreating the killing of George Floyd in the United States. Meanwhile, the Pope has also reacted to the death of George Floyd. Speaking out during his weekly prayer, Pope Francis said, and I quote, "We cannot tolerate or turn a blind eye to racism and exclusion in any form, and yet claim to defend the sacredness of every human life," unquote. While people have reacted to George Floyd's death in different ways, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's response will leave you stumped. When asked about President Trump's response to the tragedy, Trudeau took a whole 20 seconds before answering the reporter. Take a look at those 20 seconds where Trudeau was left speechless.
I'd like to ask you what you think about that, and if you don't want to comment, what message do you think you're sending?
We all watch in horror and consternation what's going on in the United States. It is a time to pull people together, but it is a time to listen. It is a time to learn what injustices continue despite progress over years and decades. But it is a time for us as Canadians to recognize that we too have our challenges, that Black Canadians and racialized Canadians face discrimination as a lived reality every single day.